Every single human relation is based on your attachment style. And so Babaji and I have created something called your Sambandha style, instead of your attachment style, your relation, your Sambandha. And it's love's hidden operating system, how you operate. But we're using it now in Vedic psychology terms. And we've added more because your attachment style is a Western concept. It's a Western psychology concept. But the Vedic psychology kind of twist on it is a little deeper and a little more subtle. Your Sambandha style has everything to do with everything, basically. How you perceive every single person in your life, how you perceive, your boss or your partner or your mother or your father. It's all coming from what happened in those first few years, of your childhood, as you attached or didn't to your parents, how they treated you. 3 of the styles are what we call dysfunctional. Shunya type, they're fearful and they're anxious. So they're fearful, anxious, and avoidant. So they can never win. At least avoidant, you can be 100% sure that they're going to avoid emotional intimacy. At least the anxious, you can be 100% sure they're going to be anxious around you. But the Shunya type is both. So you come close and they're like, oh God, push away. You go away and they're like, oh no, you left me. So that one is really tricky, right? They don't trust if you're close and they don't trust if you're far away. Shunya has no idea who they are. It can change so many times in one day, just depending on the conversation they just have with somebody, the interaction with somebody. They think they're great. I'm great. I'm horrible. I'm this. I'm that. Because they don't have they're not situated in themselves at all. That's Shunya. Shunya type is the most difficult. Somebody's trying to come close to you, and you're like, oh God, push them away, avoidant. But then you're feeling desperately lonely. They're like an inkfish. As soon as you come close, they're like, and they put black ink in your face, and it's like, okay. For this type, listen to their 3 core beliefs, okay? People I love will leave me. This is the anxious part of them. So as soon as I get close, that person's going to leave me. So when you feel that anybody's being clingy with you, or you're being clingy, or you're like, why didn't they respond back? That's obviously not the avoidant one, and it's certainly not the securely attached one. Then you can know that you have some of this type in you, this anxious attachment style. Another one for the Shunya is, but I can't trust anybody, right? I can't trust anyone. So people I love will leave me. So that means that you don't want people to leave you, right? That's what it means. But then, meanwhile, when you're with them, you can't trust them. And then the third one is, I don't know who I am. They feel empty inside, they feel invisible, they feel hollow, and they feel desperately lonely. There's nothing that can fill that up. That's how they feel. Even when they're with a room of people that they know, they feel lonely. Then the next one is this swarty, the swarty style. That one's avoidant. I don't want to let you in too close to how I feel, because probably most likely in childhood, one of my parents had too many feelings and I was responsible for their feelings. So now I'm up to here with other people's feelings. So I don't want to hear another feeling, if it costs me my life. So you just shut down. You're like a box, an iron box where no other feelings can come in, and you avoid. And when someone's emotional around you, you take distance. Even if it's a nice person who's expressing, hey, I care about you, it's like, ooh, that's weird, I'm allergic to that, So that's the swarty Sambandha type. They can't bond either, so that's why it's dysfunctional. They can't get close. So here's some core beliefs of swarty. I can only rely on myself. Being vulnerable makes me weak. Swarty is strong and independent. That's my main thing. Intimacy to the swarty type means they feel stuck and trapped. Any kind of emotional intimacy, it feels too close, and the loss of their freedom. The swarty type is avoidant, so they're not going to bond with you. I need you to tell me how awesome I am. I want you to validate that in me. But bond with me? No. So they're passionate about being seen. And why? Because they weren't seen as a kid. Or they were overseen. They were overly seen. Could be that too. So if you are the TOSHAKA type, that's the anxious attachment or Sambandha style. So that's dysfunctional because you can never bond with the person because you're constantly anxious. Do they love me? Do they hate me? Why didn't they respond to my text, right? So that's one of them. It's not that it's never empathetic. It's quite empathetic. It cares about other people. It's attuned to other people. But the anxiety comes in and ruins it. In other words, oh, you hurt your arm. Let me help you. They'll genuinely do that, Toshaka. They're people pleasers, So they're wired to help you. But then you're going to be like, did I stay too long? It looked like she was kind of annoyed in her face that I stayed too long, or maybe I should check on her again, or I texted her and asked her how her arm was, but she didn't respond back. Is she mad at me? Some characteristics of the TOSHAKA style. I'm just going to read a few of the core beliefs. I'm only lovable when I'm useful. I have nothing of worth on my own, just as a person. I perform to belong, and I need you to be okay. Do you see how the sentence doesn't say, I need to be okay? That's not even in the equation. Just as long as you're okay. you're okay, then I'm okay, which is not, that doesn't work that way. Being this TOSHAKA type is completely anxiety ridden all the time. They can never really win. So those are the 3 dysfunctional Sambandha types. I call them like a non-stick pan, you know? When you put something, in the West they have these non-stick pans and you put something on it and it doesn't stick. So you can't stick in a relation with one of these 3 types, you know? Then the best type, the one and only type that's actually functional, is the swasta type. That's the securely attached person. That person is able to have empathy for you, able to attune to you. They're secure in themselves. They're a self-contained unit. Their hardware and their software are completely aligned. That whole beginning part is your hardware when you were conceived, and that gestation period is the hardware. Then all the software that got put into you by loving swasta type of parents also had to happen. And so if all that was perfectly well, then you're going to be swasta type. Your parents were clear, authoritative, they didn't overdo it, spoiling you, they didn't underdo it and ignore you, they didn't have too many of their own feelings. So in terms of their core beliefs, if you're swasta type, it would be that people are doing their best. This is so important because oftentimes we get triggered by people. It probably happens for most of us on a daily basis, right? That people are triggering us. Why is that? Because you're not swasta. In swasta, you automatically, like your mantra without even thinking, without somebody having to tell you in a class or something, people are doing their best. Why? Because you don't need them to do better than that. Why? Because you're situated in yourself, you're happy. If somebody acts like a jerk, it's like, oh, they must have had a hard day, they must have had a hard life, they must have had a hard childhood, whatever, but they're doing their best. And that's it. You don't overanalyze. It's just like, oh, they're doing their best, you know. Now, would you become their best friend and hang out with them? Probably not, but you're not going to hate them. The second thing, a core belief of the swasta type, is that I can handle whatever comes. There's nothing so overwhelming or so challenging that I can't handle it. Why? Because in your childhood, your parents taught you that. They've helped you grow up and learn your limitations then, and then what is possible. They don't spoil you and make you think that you're, you know, a superhero, and they don't trash you all the time and criticize you and make you feel like there's something wrong with you, you know. And the third kind of core belief of our friend Swasta is I know who I am. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you love me. That's your stuff going on, but for me, I know who I am. I'm solid. I'm grounded in myself. I like myself. I'm confident in myself. And I have my own worth regardless of what any other person thinks of me. So you see, swasta is quite different. Each of the other parts has a part missing at least. When you see the other 3 types, those kind of dysfunctional types, those 3 types are inherently selfish. Understanding all of this is very important. Understanding your hardware and your software very clearly. Who are you and how did you get there? So we can highlight who you are and pump that up. And the parts that aren't you, that got put into you like faulty, toxic, you know, programming, we want to get that out.